Well, 25 hours.
25 hours.
It's going to be an interesting 25 hours leading up to the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala.
We're in the pivot now.
Kamala Harris. Wow.
Coming into the pivot.
Yeah. And of course, we start book 4 today.
We start book 4 today.
Just ready for Moses to take over. Just in time.
Ready, are we?
Just in time. And of course, everybody knows Psalm 90.
Everybody knows Psalm 90.
We are all familiar with this beautiful psalm, a perfect message for this moment. You sing us into the psalm.
Susie, I wanted to ask you a question, though.
What, Jimmy?
Can I get a table in the wilderness?
Yeah, I set the table for you.
Can I get a table for 2?
It's set up.
Can I get a table, Susie?
We cleaned up the mess.
In the wilderness, can I get a table for 4?
I hope so.
Can I get a table, Susie? In the wilderness, can I get a table for 16? Can I get a table? Can I get a table? In the wilderness, Susie, can I get a table for 1? Hear it in my bones. Open my mouth. Riddles, parables, and riddles. What we heard, what we know, what we heard, what we know. What they told us, withholding nothing, telling stories. What we heard, what we know, what we heard, what we know. Parables and riddles. Oh, Susie, I want to know one thing. Can I get a table in the wilderness? Susie, can I get a table for 2? Can I get a table in the wilderness? Can I get a table for 4? Can I get a table in the wilderness? Can I get a table for 16? Can I get a table? Can I get a table in the wilderness? Can I get a table for 1? Can I get a table for 1? Can I get a table for 1?
We're trying to make a table that's big enough for everyone. And, this psalm, we recite it on Shabbat morning. I think because it speaks to everyone. This is one of those psalms that you can read at a birth and read at a death and anything in between. So let's offer a Mishaberach for all the people that we know are longing to heal, holding on to life the best they can, living every day the best they can. So we pray for our friend Choco, for Sam, for Louis, for Rabbi Ellen, for all the people that have COVID, and a special prayer for my friend Corinne and for her baby that she's asked us to name, for Mendel. Little Mendel, you are a fighter. You've been fighting. You're choosing life, little one. Keep choosing life every day. We're longing to hold you, to love you. We can't give up praying. Calling out to the universe for what we long for. And sometimes it's our own healing. A healing of a broken heart, a healing of a broken spirit. Yeshaberach? Oh, how'd you get out?
They're okay.
Okay. Good. We have 2 little dogs.
Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf. Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf. The healing of the spirit, the healing of of the body for the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel, Uriel, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head, Shekhinah. Michael, who is like God. Gabriel, God is my strength. Uriel, God is my light. Raphael, God is my healer. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head. Shekhinah.
Oh, we're praying to angels. Please, angels, guide us. Help us bring healing to the sick.
Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen.
And for learning. It is through learning that we will find this path where truth and loving kindness kiss and bring about justice and peace.
Ba'arevna Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Torcha b'finu u'b'fi amcha b'eit Yisrael. Make the words of your teachings pleasant on our lips, the lips of all of those that come into our screens. ונחיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עולמך בית ישראל. כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. All of us learning for the pleasure of it and for the purity of it and for its implications in our lives. The works of our hands, Maseh Yadeinu Konenehu, the works of our hands. Baruch atah Adonai Melamed Torah le'amu Yisrael. Blessed are you who teaches in this fashion. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Psalm 90, beginning of book 4. I think it really speaks. This is one of those psalms. So read it with us. If you have a text there, read this psalm with us. It is, it brings together, I think, so much of the truth that we found in so many of the psalms because, it speaks to the universality of how we are part of something greater than ourselves. We call that greatness God. We call that moral calling, tug to be better, to be, to be our best selves, knowing that our lives are fleeting, that our lives are, you know, in the scheme of things, you know, just a moment in time. And so it is up to us to make that moment meaningful as God numbers our days, and we, as the psalmist says, acquire hearts of wisdom. So, Tefillah LeMoshe, don't you love that? We are called on this day before the inauguration to remember Moses. Moses, the great leader who stuttered, the great leader who
Humble.
was chosen for his humility, because he was the opposite of Pharaoh, the great divider. Moses wasn't going to leave anybody behind. Moses was the great uniter. He brought the people together. He turned this group of disparate slaves, of people, all kinds of crazy different people. He turned them into a people with a purpose in the wilderness. And so this prayer on this day gives us Moses as our as the prayer. This is called Tefillah LeMoshe. It's that LeMoshe though.
Yeah,
Right?
LeMoshe.
You got the le there, the toward, but the prayer of Moses. You are the bearer of the fleeting moments.
Yeah.
You have been with
Man of
us in
God.
every generation. Listen to that. In verse 1, there is a Moses in every generation. Yesterday we celebrated Dr. King. You know, Dr. King, who, yes, believed in nonviolence, but was willing to be violated, right?
Our
To
shelter.
do civil disobedience for,
Oh, baby.
right?
He's our shelter.
Yeah, right. So, and then verse 2.
Before
Before the mountains were brought forth, before the mountains were born. I love that. Really, that's what it says. Right? Yuladu. Before the mountains were born, you caused the earth and the world.
You are God.
And the earth and the world writhed in pain from eternity to eternity. You're the all-moving. You're the eternal. You exist forever. So even in the turmoil of creation, the imperfection of creation, there is one constant. Amoral man.
Return.
Right?
You
You turn the imperfect person to dust, saying, right? Shuvu b'nei Adam. Shuvu b'nei Adam. You know, as imperfect as we are, you keep telling us to return, right? To shuv, right? To do that shuva, that there is redemption possible, right? Shuvu. Shuvu b'nei Adam. Return, people. That's another song you could do. That's a good one, you know, because as long as we're here, we can't give up, right?
In your eyes, like a day that passes, like yesterday that passes.
Oh, God, that's so beautiful. For 1,000 years in your eyes are
like
but
a watch in the night.
they are a watch in the night for us, right? Wow. Yeah, boy. You let them flow away. Sleep they become. But in the morning, renews its vigor as fresh
grows like
as
morning,
grass.
like
The grass sprouts anew.
In the morning it grows. In the evening it cuts down and withers.
Yeah, I mean, what I think it's so important right now also to think about what is fleeting and what is permanent, and to devote ourselves to those things that are permanent. what will be renewed? In the morning it will grow again with new vigor. That which turned toward eventide will cut down, and it withers, right? So there are things that, it says like the grass will wither and fade, but you will be there. Your essence will be there forever. Verse 7. For we perished by your anger. There were consequences when we failed, and we were dismayed because of your wrath. Right? We were overcome by the fury of the consequences of our actions, because you don't really reward and punish, but there are consequences to what we do in the natural world, right? Verse 7, verse 8, you have set our perverse acts before you, the dormant core within us before the light of your countenance, right? You have arrayed our sins. We see what we've done wrong now. It's right out there. Oh my God, is it right out there? Our wrongs from the light of your they are in the light of day right now, right? We are seeing what we have borne. We're seeing it.
For all our days,
we are all complicit in what's happening.
Turning.
Right?
A tail like a tail.
All our days have passed away because you're stepping forth. We ended our years like an unspoken thought.
Like a breath.
Our years end like a breath. Sigh. They do, right? Yeah, what does that mean? Our lives, our days are spent disappointing you, and our years end, with no fanfare, with just that last breath. So, if the span of our days contains 70 years,
and if strength,
maybe 80 years, prideful gains are toil and sorrow. But still, even if we live 70, 80 years, we're still quickly cut off and we fly away. Boy, I hope that's true. I hope that that's something.
Who knows?
11. Who knows? Who can comprehend the power of your... It says wrath, but I think
of your nose.
Anger, right? But I think what it means is, the consequences of our imperfection. Right? Your anger is like your fearsome awe. Right?
What's due to you? This awesomeness due to you. Limnot. Here's a pivot.
Yeah.
12.
So, yeah, well, 12 is 12. The verse. I mean, this is the verse that
the pivot.
We all know. So,
Limnot Yamenu.
If we are a speck, if our lives, if in your eternity we are just this moment, this breath, this moment in time, so it doesn't mean that there's not meaning. And here is verse 12, right? That tells us, why don't you read it in Hebrew?
Limnot Yamenu Kain Hoda.
Beautiful.
To teach us, infinitive, to teach us to number our days.
Number our days, make every day count.
To number our days.
Make every day count.
What day is it? It's today.
It is today.
And then what day is it tomorrow?
Tuesday, Kitov.
It's today.
And tomorrow, yeah.
What's the day after that?
Today. It'll be another today. So if we do number our days, making every day count, then
we may know. V'navi lavav chokhmah, we may get ourselves.
Lavav chokhmah. That's it.
Heart of wisdom.
If nothing else.
Lavav chokhmah.
If nothing else, that is why
כן
we're here.
הודה בנביא
Right?
לבב חוכמה.
To gain that heart of wisdom.
שובה אדוני עד מתי? Return. עד מתי?
Verse
How
13.
long?
How long, God?
בינכם
Come on.
ועבדיך.
Think about us again. Come on. Reconsider. Shuva Adonai. Shuva Adonai. Return, God. Return into our into our world, into our lives,
סבינו בבוקר.
so that we can feel your presence, right?
Make us satisfied. סבינו בבוקר in the morning.
That is so important. Don't you love that? That this psalm has even that in it, this notion of
So we can be
satisfaction.
satisfied in the morning.
Sate us with your steadfast love,
With your loving
that we may
kindness.
sing out and rejoice all our days. With the imperfection, with the fleetiness of life, with our broken hearts, somehow bring to us something.
Even in the years where we have seen hard
Trouble.
difficulties.
Oof. Yeah, and boy, we know that, huh?
Yireh
16. Let your deeds be shown to your worshippers, and your splendor descend upon their children.
b'neihem.
That's the way it's supposed to go, right?
Your glory
That what we do is a blessing for our children, and generations to come.
Vayinoam.
And then finally,
be
verse
pleasant.
17.
Let it be pleasant.
May the delight of God be upon us. Fulfill for us the work of our hands. The work of our hands. Fulfill the work of our hands. So we shouldn't give up, even though our lives are fleeting, because we are part of something greater than ourselves, something that will live on beyond us. And so we can't give up. This is not the time for thinking that our lives are short, insignificant, imperfect lives don't matter, because the work of our hands do make a difference. Let them make a difference. So let's do that verse 12 one more time. Give us the knowledge to number our days, to make each day count, that we may acquire a heart of wisdom. Do you have a psalm for us today?
Well, I got a beast on me here. So,
It's okay. Should be all right. I don't know if you can see. We have two of these
we
little
ended our
dogs.
years like a thought within. Like a thought within.
Yeah.
The days of our years, 70 years by reason of strength, 80 years, too fast, and we fly away. Who knows the power? Teach us. To count our days. We may carry a heart of wisdom. How long satisfy us in the morning? How long with your loving kindness? How long we will sing, be joyful all our days? How long, even in the days we have had it hard. The years we have seen trouble. How long? Let your work appear to your servants and your glory to their children. And may it be pleasant for us in the works of our hands. How long? May this happen for us. The works of our hands. May this happen for us. January 19th,
Wow.
2021.
Wow.
The pivot. New era. Dream on the ceiling.
Amen. It's just amazing to me how each psalm speaks to each day that we are living through. And tomorrow's psalm is no exception.
כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו
And as it says in this psalm,
Amen.
whatever we undertake to do in our daily lives, may it be a blessing and prosperity for generations to come. That's how that psalm ends. And tomorrow's psalm,
Also, we have this is a day of mourning today.
and today will be a day
Something
of mourning.
we've neglected
Yes, and so
in the prior era.
so grateful to the Biden-Harris administration for not going into this next era without mourning. We have to mourn our dead. If we are going to go forward, we have to honor them and not let them die in vain. So I think tonight I saw it on my feed like 5:30. But there is a service that you can go online, and there will be a service, I think, at the Lincoln Memorial. And I hope everybody tunes into that.
So necessary, so
Yeah.
so
And
right.
tomorrow's
So
psalm
right.
is the psalm that we read at funerals, Psalm 91. We often read this at funerals, and it's a psalm that is also connected to the plagues. And I think that's another really important teaching here, especially as we go from Dr. King to this inauguration. The notion that until the people in power suffered with the plagues, nothing changed. And I think that part of what we're recognizing here is that people of color in this country live with the kind of terror that the people in the Congress and the Senate felt that day of the insurrection, that you can't tell the good guys from the bad guys, and so you're always on edge when you're not sure if law enforcement or if the police, if the people who are there to keep you safe are there to protect you as well. You never feel safe. And I think white America might have gotten a little bit of a taste of what it feels like to be a person of color in this country. Never safe. Always on edge. Always wondering who has your back, and who would do you harm. So we have work to do, but these Psalms are a great guide to give us
So I'll
hearts of
remind
wisdom.
you that we started this the day after the first debate
Yeah, we did.
because it was so dispiriting. It felt like a new low. And we said, we have to do something. Let's do something
For
that
lift.
we know.
Right,
But let's do it in a way that we are not familiar with.
right.
So we started with Psalm 1, the day after that first debate, the end of September.
That's right.
And 6 days a week, we do the Psalms in sequence. That's how this started.
Right.
It's not a schedule. And we're not on the normal schedule of daily Psalms. We made our own schedule. And we encountered the Psalms in the most obvious way.
Mm-hmm.
With the notion of it'll still teach us something, but not knowing what.
Right.
And we've come somewhere
Right.
with Psalm. So thank you for joining us, coming into our house.
Let
And,
it be a day of lift.
sorry about
we
the
can,
doggies and everything, but
We can do this work together.
we're at
we
home.
can.
We're at home here.
We are. And from our homes to yours, we'll be mourning with the nation this evening and celebrating a new era tomorrow.
The pivot.
The pivot.
Consequential, if not immediate.
So have a good day, a day of peace, a day of lift, a day of light as we go forward.